And that love from coast to coast, man. Planting them seeds so you know we growing. Believing in us, damn right we know when. Ain't got time for the stress and pain. No time for hate, no time for games. It's time to take it up. Take it up. We gon' take it up. Hey.
Real talk for real life. Real talk for real life. Welcome back, guys, to Real Talk for Real Life, where we lead with gratitude and we build with purpose. Happy New Year, everyone. We made it to 2026. This is the year of growth. This is the year where we're going to be moving with purpose and the year that we're going to be making dynamic change. I am your host, Sherri Ann, and this is the space where we have real conversation about motivation for women, about personal growth, about how to build a mindset, the discipline, and the habits that are needed to grow stronger in every season of life. Real Talk for Real Life is powered by Women of Dynamic Change, a 501c3 nonprofit. And it is also a community that is committed to supporting women through leadership, through wellness, through faith, and most of all, through transformation, guys. I'm so excited today. We have a mentor, we have a coach, we have an educator, and her name is Miss Juanita Lankford, and she is back again for round two to inspire us, to uplift us, to encourage us when it comes to our fitness goals and beyond. And so we're so excited that she is back in the year of 2026 to keep us motivated throughout this year and beyond. Because listen, it's all about how we train our minds and how we show up for ourselves every single day, which is going to impact our growth in this year of 2026. So, Miss Juanita Lankford.
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here.
Oh man, we're so happy to have you back. Last year, you just really impressed and empowered and uplifted our audience. And so we said, you know what, we got to have her back this year in 2026 to get us motivated and going for this year of growth. And so once again, we want to say thank you, Juanita, and Happy New Year to you, wishing you prosperity and growth as well for this new year. So we want you just to tell us a little bit more about yourself and just how dynamic you are.
Thank you so much, and thanks again for having me back. Hello, everyone. My name is Juanita Lankford. I currently work in one of my local colleges as a student success coach. So I pretty much help students who are interested in our career and technical education programs, and I kind of help them to get started. I help them with their onboarding piece. It's a huge helpful position, especially for students who are coming back into college and they have no idea of where to start or how to go. So I cannot stress and tell you how thankful a lot of the students are that I'm even in place and other success coaches. But in addition to that, I love talking about health and fitness. I feel like my biggest thing I love talking about is movement. It is something that I have been speaking about for years. Also have worked with a few ladies with their journeys as well. So, and I'm also a mom. My son, he's 9 and he is autistic, and I'm also a wife.
I love that. I love that. So you're wearing so many different hats, but you still, yeah. But Juanita, guess what? You're still finding time to give to yourself as well as to other individuals, other women. And what you're doing is just great work. And so, again, we just want to say thank you for what you do. So, let's go ahead and get into this dynamic conversation. And so, one of the things that we did talk about last year was we talked a little bit about barriers. So, I want to get into that because with Real Talk for Real Life, we really want to tackle those barriers that keep women from being able to reach their full potential potential, whether it be in their life, whether it be in their fitness journey. So, what do you believe may be one of the biggest barriers that keep women from being able to stay consistent when it comes to their fitness journey?
There's two that really come to mind. And I
Mm,
want to say these are probably like the two biggest ones that even as I'm talking with women, even for myself, these are like two major ones that I have struggled with. And I know a lot of women also might struggle with. So when you hear me talk about this, you're going to be like, that's it. One is time management.
mm,
I know that there are a lot of women, and even myself, one of the barriers and one of the things that we struggle with is when. When am I going to work out? How am I going to find the time? A lot of us are super busy. And so we're like, where do we find this time to do it, right? Especially if you're a busy woman, whether you have children or not, it does not matter. We all are trying to figure out where to fit that time in. So I do want to address that first. First and foremost, I just need everyone to know that we're all on the same page. I feel
yes.
like time management is something that everybody has to work on, right? One of the things that I had to tell myself is that we all are working on the same 24 hours. No one gets more than 24 hours. No one gets less than 24 hours. So if you know that you have 24 hours to work with, one of the things that I would suggest is you have to look at your day and see where are you spending your time, because a lot of times what we don't realize is we actually have more time than we think we do, but we're not managing that time appropriately. So you have to, and you have to be honest about it, because there are some of us who a nice chunk of our time is on social media when you could be using that time for yourself, exercising. So it's important. And to piggyback on time management, you have to be open to switching it up. I
Mm.
used to be the one who would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and exercise. I mean, I was the guru, baby. Listen, 5 a.m. workouts, count me in. There was a shift that happened in my life, and for whatever reason, I just could not get up at 5 o'clock in the morning anymore. So at that moment, I had to decide, okay, am I going to use that excuse that I can't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out? Or am I going to find another time in my day to plug it in? Lately, I want to say for the past 2 years, instead of me waking up early at 5 o'clock to work out, I now work out after work. And I find that in this season, at this moment, that's what's
Mhm.
working for me. It allows me to release that stress from work. It allows me to just have that time for myself. So, one of the things that you just have to be open to is playing around with that time too and see where it can best fit your schedule.
I like that because time management is something that affects most of us because you hear it often, Juanita.
I
I can't
know.
find the time. I don't have the time. And
True.
so I like what you say in regards to finding what works for you. So now you had to shift. Like you said, things change. And so you were working out 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll be honest, I'm a person, I love to get up early in the morning. So 5 o'clock works for me, right? But then you had to switch it up and find what works for you. And so that's what we have to do. And so we have to figure out in that 24-hour period, right? There has to be at
Has
least
to be.
30 minutes, Juanita,
Has to
right?
be. Has to
That
be.
we can give to ourselves.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize is I feel like they make that time frame a lot bigger than what it needs to be. It's really a small portion of your full day. You're only dedicating a small portion of your full day. And even in that time that you are trying to figure out what workout you're doing or what movement you're doing, you can start with 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. At most, my workouts more times than none are no more than 30 minutes for the workout. And then I do a little extra for stretching, but the bulk of my workout is just 30 minutes.
So what you're saying is it's possible.
It's 100% possible. 100. And then real quick, the second one that I find that is like the biggest barrier is when a lot of women say that it's been too long. I
Okay.
started working out and now it's been a year, it's been 2 years. Now I can't do it anymore. It's a lot of mental mindset that kind of makes you think that because it's been too long, or you might feel like you're too old. All of that is a lie. Please, please listen to me. It is a lie. It's never, I always encourage, it's never too late to start again. So please do not tell yourself that it's too late. I'm too old, I don't have enough time. All of those are barriers that we all think about, but it, like we mentioned, it is possible.
Also those self-limiting beliefs. Get them out in this year of 2026.
Guys, yes.
We can accomplish anything. We are women, we are superheroes. We just have to make the time, we have to find the time, and we just have to stay consistent. So I love everything that you said, Juanita. And so I know someone's going to walk away with using those tools to move forward into their year of growth and greatness. I want to talk
Absolutely.
about comparison, and we discussed this last year, and it is something that we all do. And I remember you saying that it's normal, right? It's a normal part of life for us to compare ourselves to other people. But what I found out is that as I speak to more and more women, this is something that we are doing, if not every day, we're doing it a lot in our lives, and it is also another barrier. So how can we overcome the tendency to compare ourselves to others' journey and focus more on our fitness journey and on our lives and stay in our own lane?
It's so true. It is a human nature that we compare. I mean, we just have to realize that it is, what do they say? It's written in our DNA. But because it's written in our DNA, that does not mean that it has to consume us. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to self-talk
Mm,
myself out of certain things or redirect my own thought, right? We all know that comparing yourself, I mean, it is, we know this. We know that comparing yourself to somebody else is not going to get you anywhere. It's not
mm,
going to motivate you to get started. It's not going to motivate you to keep going. You have to remember that comparing yourself to somebody else isn't going to do anything good for you. So that's first and foremost, just recognizing that you're doing it. And then from there, you can start putting action into place. So one of the things that I realize a lot of us do is the time that we're comparing ourselves to somebody else is when we're looking at social media. I cannot stress how many times like you might be scrolling and you're like, man, that woman looks, oh, I want that body, or I want this, or and then all of a sudden it's like a whole spiral. You have to realize when you start doing that, you shut it down. Shut it down, turn it off. It's not going to serve you. Have to stay in your lane. Another thing that I realized that a lot of us don't really we don't think about is your body is your body. You are
mm.
never, we are so designed. There's nobody in this world that's designed like you, right? And so many women, their body is beautiful and it is amazing and they don't even realize that. And a lot of this comparison is like you want the same thing that somebody else has, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So appreciating your and loving your body, and I promise to you, it is one of the hardest things for us as women. I don't know. I feel like men don't even have this issue. Women, like
Yes.
we go in. It
Yes.
goes deep. But we have to come to a point where we look at our bodies and love what we see. It's
Mm,
okay to make those changes to where you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I want to get a little bit more fit, but do it for you. Don't try to get fit to look like somebody else because there's a completely different, it's a completely different drive there. Another thing that we have to realize is our bodies, we're getting older, right? Our
yes.
bodies is not the same as it was in high school,
Ooh,
right?
unfortunately,
It's
unfortunately.
nice. I can't listen, and I'm realizing it too. I'm kissing, believe it or not, I'm kissing early 40s.
Get
I'm
out of
kissing
here.
early 40s.
Get out of
And I promise to you, I am
here.
kissing early 40s. I mean, I'm
Wow.
like at the cusp, okay?
Wow.
And
Okay.
one thing I realized, and I have been working out and I have been
Hmm.
talking about health and fitness for so long. And what I'm starting to also realize is my body is changing. As I'm getting older and I'm getting into my 40s, and I can imagine as I get into my 50s, the things that used to work for you back in the days is not going to be the same things. I promise, I can still look at my body right now and say, you know what? Girl, you did that. You had a baby. I see stretch marks. I see a little extra thickness is nice, right? Like you can still appreciate your body how it is,
Yes.
but still have those goals and not even
Yes.
comparing anybody else.
Oh my God. Juanita, you listen, you always hit it right on the nail. I'm telling you, look, I'm in my 40s now, and everything that you're saying is so correct. My body is nowhere near what it used to be when I was a teenager, or when I was in my 20s, or when I was in my 30s. And let's keep it real. We change, like you said, as we get older, but it's appreciating where we are
Mm,
in this moment, right? And it
hmm.
may not be where we want to be, because I know I'm not where I want to be, but I'm appreciating and loving where I am. But I'm also taking those steps to move toward where I want to be
Yes.
without looking at everybody else and understanding. You said something that was so important. Everybody's body is different. We're on our own time
Mm,
schedule. You're in your 30s, I'm in my 40s. And so,
mm,
we're in different spectrums of life, right? And so
exactly.
that's what we have to understand. So you brought up some very valid points that we definitely want women to understand, that we're different. We're all different,
Mhm.
right? God gave us all unique bodies and
Yes.
specific to ourselves, right, Juanita? And I love how you say appreciating where we are and who we
Mm.
are. I love that. And so we do more of that. How can we grow more into appreciating us for who we are in this moment?
One of the things that I know that I had to do is literally spend
Mhm.
time with myself.
Okay.
I had to spend time with myself. There are even times where I had to, I think I brought it up last time in our conversation. Like, I remember getting like compliments here and there. You're beautiful. I love your skin complexion. You could tell me all the compliments in the world, and all of it will just go right over my head. There has to come a point where you know who you are and can give yourself compliments. You know what we don't do enough? We don't give ourselves compliments. Like you look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, what is it that you like? Because for me, one of my most features that I love is my neck. And some
Uh-huh.
people would be like, what? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yes. It's something about my
right.
neck that I'm like, I like that. But giving yourself, you have
Hmm.
to, I don't know what it is. I feel like back in the
Hmm.
day, people used to say you're crazy if you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like there comes a point where you do have to talk to yourself because your brain and your mindset is battling two different things every single day, right? You're battling those negative thoughts, then those positive thoughts are coming in, and you really don't even know which one to even listen to. So you have to constantly like remind yourself of who you are, your truth, and give yourself some compliments. At some
I love
point,
that.
your
Mhm.
mind, it will follow. Your brain will follow because whatever you're putting into your mind and your body, that's what's going to be your truth. And too many of us, we're not complimenting ourselves.
I got quiet. I got silent because you're pinpointing some areas that not just myself, I'm sure, but other women who are watching are saying, you know what, that's true. I really don't compliment myself. And another thing too is sometimes, like you said, we get these compliments and we avoid them and we discredit those compliments. And so let's practice giving ourselves compliments. I love that. That's one way for us to stay motivated, to stay encouraged, because if we don't learn how to give ourselves compliments, then we can't understand how to accept those compliments from other people. So
Yes,
that is some great, great,
yes.
great advice,
And
Ms.
and to piggyback on that, it's a twofold
Uh-huh,
because if someone's telling you something, like if they're giving you
uh-huh.
a compliment, it's because it's true. That compliment, but also work on the compliment yourself because if you're not even taking that compliment and actually even believing that, then there's some type of disconnect there. Because people will say, you're beautiful, you're oh my gosh, you were a born leader, and you're like, no, I'm not. And
Right,
it's like, well, they're telling you something for a reason. So you
right.
yourself too, and in addition to that, there are people that are going to tell you things that are negative and try to belittle you. So you have to know and be strong and know what are you pulling from? Again, what are you feeding yourself? But spending that time with yourself is 100% needed.
I love that. And so that goes to, I do this thing called Take Yourself Out Friday, right?
Oh,
Where
so
I
nice.
just, even if it's just to sit in my backyard for 20 minutes, just taking that time to, sometimes I journal, sometimes I just sit out there and I just look around in the backyard and I become one with nature. But that
Oh.
time is so important for us to just really be silent
Mm.
and learn more about yourself and what you like and who you are and why you even like yourself,
Yes. And
right?
it's an ongoing, like I try to tell people these things,
Yeah.
the work that you do within yourself is ongoing.
Mm.
It doesn't stop. And there are times where it's not easy, but taking that time, like you mentioned, for yourself, taking that time to even journaling is such a great thing. And that I did, I wrote a letter to myself. I
Okay.
wrote a letter to my future self, just like writing, Juanita, I'm proud of you. You overcome so much. Last year you did this, but you wish you did
Mm.
this. Like really building that relationship with yourself. Like how often do we do that? We work so hard, especially as women, we're building relationships with people at our job and building relationships with our spouse or our partners or our family and our children. But what about building that relationship with yourself?
I love that. Building relationships with yourself,
Ah,
taking that focus off of everybody else, and then again putting it back on ourselves because this is how we're going to grow as women. And remember, we're changing, right, Juanita, in every season. So the person who I was when I was 20, I'm definitely not her in my 40s. So I constantly, continuously need to learn myself. And so you're absolutely right. It's an everyday practice, it's everyday work. And I'm going to tell you this, Juanita, it's one of the hardest things that I
it
have
is.
had to do for myself. That internal work. And many people shy away from it because it is so
Thank you. It
intense.
is. It is 100%. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's so intense. So I hear you talk about you wrote this letter to yourself. So that's a little bit about, I'm going to say, in regards to, you know, how every year at the end of the year, we do the vision boards, we journal, we speak about what we want for the current year and maybe what we could have did differently in the past year, right? So what role do you think goal setting plays in developing that successful fitness mindset and just mindset in general for the woman who is going into this year of 2026?
Boy, goals, goals, goals. Sometimes I feel like people hear the word goals and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness. Goals and goal setting is so needed.
Okay.
You are not going to accomplish anything without some type of goal because you know what it is? You need a plan. You need something that's going to help guide you to be able to like check those marks off. Because if not, you're just going to be going each day just kind of like lost, floundering around, not even knowing like are you coming, are you going? Are you shooting or are you like you have to have some type of something to work towards or you're not working towards anything.
Mm.
So goal setting is a must. You need a plan of action or there is no action. The thing with goals, what I find is sometimes I feel like people make goals, but they make it too challenging. Like it's
Mm.
too, you're not able to achieve it. You have to be really realistic about your goals and then work on it. So I like to tell people think of it twofold. When you're setting your goals, try to keep it challenging but still achievable at the same time. So you're like, well, what does that even look like? Well, look at your life for example. And you know, since I love talking about workouts, so why not? So for example, let's say you're like, man, I really want to start working out. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to fit it in. Okay, look at your week, right? Instead of saying, oh, well, my goal is is going to work out 5 times a day, 30, that might not be achievable for you right now. So ease into it, still make it kind of challenging but achievable. Maybe you can try to shoot for working out 2 days out of the week. And then over time you can build on that. Or maybe you found it easy that you work out every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Try
Okay.
that. But
Okay.
if you're telling yourself you've never worked out in like 2 years and you're like, no, I'm gonna work out 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, that might not be achievable for you. So when
Right.
you're planning your goals, look at it as you and what you have going on currently. Start, make it challenging, and then build upon that.
So it sounds like what we need to be doing when we are setting these goals, that they need to be realistic. They need to be goals that fit into our lives.
Yes.
right? Because we, like you said, we all have busy lives. And the most important thing is like setting the plan, right? Put it in writing. And because without that, we're lost. And I definitely agree with that. And I'll tell you this, I think for me, you came on, you motivated me. I started
Ah,
working out 7 days a
I
week.
love
And I'm gonna tell you, this is how the story ended.
it.
So I'm
Right?
working out 7 days a week, going in hard. I got this goal. I want to lose this amount of weight before my birthday. Womp, 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 like my son says.
Oh,
And
so
all of a
cute.
sudden, this workout of 7 days a week turns to 5 days a week, turns to 3 days a week, turns to one day a week, turns to absolutely nothing. Right. So, what I understood in that is that I had to go back to the drawing board and I had to say, look, Sherri, know you were going in hard. You were doing good. I'm going in the WhatsApp group and I'm letting everybody know, taking pictures, but it wasn't realistic to your schedule. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
realistic to your life. So let's go back to the drawing board and say, okay, Sherry, you can't work out 7 days a week, but you can maybe do 3 days a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's more realistic to who you are, your life situation, and your schedule. So, yes, Juanita, I agree. Sometimes we do set these grandiose goals, and that keeps us from staying motivated or even started. Because, right? Listen, many of us have those vision boards, Juanita, right? Are just visions on the board, and no action has taken place because they're so big. I want to run 3 miles every other day. And we know if we're just starting back out with working out, that's something that may be difficult to obtain. So I love what you said about just really making those goals fit into our schedule and making them realistic. And instead of what, like those 3 miles, like you said, maybe you could do the 30-minute workout or even a 10-minute walk, right? A short
Yeah.
walk. So it's the small
Yeah.
steps. And so,
And the
mhm.
thing is, Sharon, there's nothing wrong with those big goals, right?
Okay,
Like,
okay,
keep them,
okay,
use them as you're like, okay, later on, but you're not gonna do it right away, right?
okay,
Like, let's say if you did want to run those 3 miles, sure, keep it on a sticky note. You're not gonna run
okay,
those 3 miles tomorrow.
right.
So in the meantime, between time, as you're building up to that, okay, what is your plan of action? How are you going to
Mm,
reach
okay.
that big goal? So be reasonable about that. Nothing, what is that saying? Go big or go home. Nothing's wrong with it. But if your go big or go home goal is what you're already trying to reach tomorrow, and then you're like, well, I didn't run 3 miles, I can't do it. So we gotta, like you said, we
Right,
gotta start over
right.
and adjust. I think that's something
Mm.
that a lot of people don't realize or make the effort to do. Start over and readjust. Keep readjusting and see what works for you so that whatever big goal you are trying to reach, you're able to get there. Maybe in a year, but keep that in mind.
I love that. Just readjusting. And it's okay to readjust. And it's okay to say, okay, maybe I started out with this particular goal and I just didn't meet it. And that's where we talk about the compassion.
Mm,
Being compassionate with yourself.
yeah,
I find that sometimes we're our biggest critics.
we are.
How do you feel about that, Juanita, and us just being a
We
little bit
are.
more compassionate with ourselves as we move into these new journeys of whether it be fitness, whether it be us building confidence, whether it be us starting school? How do we stay compassionate and giving ourselves grace when it comes to these journeys?
We are. We're so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're so hard. You have to give yourself
Mm,
grace. What I
mhm,
find too, a lot of people go in with the biggest intention of working out,
mhm,
taking time for themselves and doing X, Y, and Z. And nine times out of 10, what I find, and it has happened to me as well, something huge or traumatic happens in that time where your goal ends up having to get a setback, not even by
mhm.
it, just unexpected things happen in life. I mean, this is just even starting a new year. I know a lot of people are like 2026, be good to me. We have no
Yeah.
clue what's going to happen. And I think realizing that while we try to do goals and and goal settings, you never know what's going to happen. You might lose your job, or maybe you might end up having a family or a friend member pass. At that moment, you're not thinking about working out or going to the gym. So giving yourself grace on the life events that happened. Some women end up having babies, and like I cannot tell you how many times I've seen women, they're like, okay, I'm gonna get back in the gym, and then they find out that they're pregnant and then they have a baby. Like that's a life event, right?
Yes. Yes.
So give yourself grace for the things that you go through and the different life things that happen. We never know what's going to
Mhm.
happen in our life. Only God knows. So
Yes.
understanding that things happen, that should be the reason to even give yourself grace. And take as long as you need, right? Like if you have to grieve, grieve. If you have to take time off, take time off. But at some point, you know what I noticed too, Sherri Ann? We
Yes.
know when we're ready to get back out there. We know when we're ready to start working out because we say it. Once you say it, that's like your brain telling you, okay, I'm ready now. At that point, that's when you need to start planning, do time management, take those steps. Because we know a lot of times we know what we're supposed to be doing and when we're supposed to be doing it, but we just like, nah, I'm gonna push that to the side. So give yourself grace, but at the same time, like don't play with yourself either. Like you know when you've given yourself enough grace. Okay, now it's time to get back out there. It's time to start working on myself.
Mm.
So having that in
Yeah.
mind, like twofolds.
Yes, and I get that. I laugh because you brought up two very important pointers. At one point, I was working out, and then all of a sudden, I got pregnant. I'm like, oh my God, my whole goals of getting to this desired body weight is now over. So
See,
you're right. Life is so
life
unexpected.
happens.
Right?
Hmm.
Is life is like everybody says, life be life in, and we just don't know what to expect. And the one thing that we can expect is that change is going to occur at some point in our lives. So we do have to be compassionate with ourselves. And just like I had to revisit my fitness goals, completely stopped. But then I had to say, you know what, Sherri, you got to get back on this race.
Yeah.
Get back on this race. At least if you can commit to working out twice a week, once a week, you're doing something. And so
Yes.
you took it back. You said you did too much, and now let's revisit it and say, you know what, Sherri, let's get back in this race once a week. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay. And I think that one of the things too, Juanita, is sometimes we are so hard on ourselves that we forget that it's okay to not be perfect.
Gosh, yeah, we're not perfect. We're never gonna be perfect. It's not a realistic thing. Listen, I can't tell you, a lot of people like they see me, they're like, oh my gosh, she's working out. Please, there are times where I take time off of working out and I'm skipping, I'm messaging, in the group. I'm like, oh, well, I skipped today. Come on. It's never gonna be 100%
Right.
all the time. But like you mentioned, working out those 2 days is
Mm-hmm.
10 times better than working out 0 days and letting those 0 days build up into months and then those
Mm.
months turn into years. Like
I love.
there's this picture that I saw about
Uh-huh.
what consistency really looks like. On the top of it, it shows what consistency is not, and it shows like the water like this at the same level all the time. And they're
Okay.
like, that's not consistency. And then like
Mm.
underneath it, it shows that consistency, it's up and down. Like you even showing up for those few minutes or those few days is 10 times better than you not showing up at all.
There you go.
So,
Listen, consistency is one of my favorite words. Anyone who knows me knows that consistency is so important. And like you said, even if it's not every day, you're putting those steps forward, even if it's just once a week, you're doing something, you're committing to yourself. I went to my Pilates class this week. And I sat down on the mat, Juanita, and I said, you know what, Sherri, you decided to show up for yourself today.
mm,
I'm so proud of you.
I love that.
I'm so proud of you. You showed up for yourself. And so I guess that goes back to you having those conversations with yourself, building your own self up. And so I did that and didn't even realize it until
I
speaking with
love
you
it. You
today, right?
see?
Yeah, I sure did. And so, Juanita, you always come on Real Talk for Real Life, and you really just uplift and you inspired not only me, but I'm sure you're doing that for those who are watching in the audience. And so I want you to leave some words of encouragement or one lesson that you want the ladies or even the gentlemen that are watching this episode to take with them and to carry them through the year of 2026 and beyond.
I love it. Two things. I think that we touched on it earlier, and it is that taking that time to relearn you. Like, what if you took all of 2026 to really sit down with yourself and really relearn yourself, the today you, right? Like, what do you like? What don't you like? It doesn't even have to only go based on like your health and wellness. Like, you can apply this in all aspects of your life. Like, what are some things that is really starting to make you stressed out? Like, what really makes you happy? And put that smile on your face. Like, and I'm talking about the basic. It doesn't even have to be like super huge. Like, maybe for you, something that makes you smile is coloring. Like, go for it. What if it's like painting or roller skating? Like, things that you don't even revisit because you kind of put it back. Like, I feel like, especially as we get older, we're so like business minded and we're so focused on bills, and we forget to have fun as adults. Like,
Yes.
we forget to have fun. So like relearning what makes you upset, what gets you angry, what makes you frustrated, what makes you happy, what do you like, what don't you like, literally like laying all that out. Imagine spending the whole year. Because I'm gonna
Mm,
tell you, like, even when I had
mm,
to reevaluate myself and relearn myself, I start to realize the things that do make me upset, and I don't even let those things like get to me anymore. So taking that time to really relearn you, the you now,
yeah.
is like, take that, please. Oh my gosh, please take that time to do that. It is so important. Like, for another quick example, something that I've learned is I pull from other people's energy. So being around like a lot of people or like big crowds, it makes me so drained. Like, to the point where I'm just like done. Has nothing to do with like not wanting to go out and social and mingle, but I realized for myself, being around so many people, it really drains me. Once I realized that, then I realized what I need to do to regain my energy back, like taking
Mhm.
that time off, or like what you mentioned. When I say nature therapy has been my thing, like for
Yeah.
like the past 2 years, being surrounded around the trees, listening to water. It took a little trial and error to figure out what I like to do, but once you figure that out, then you can narrow in on that. And it's so
Mm,
rewarding. You don't have to tell anybody. I always tell people, hold on, let me
mhm.
throw this out there. Long as it does not cause harm to yourself or
Love
cause
it.
harm to other people,
Correct.
you go for it. Let me in, or cause harm to your health. Let me
Uh-huh.
put that out there.
Okay.
Go for
Okay.
it. Go for it. And then another thing that I wanted to just kind of wrap it up with is motivation. If you
Okay.
find yourself being like, I'm not motivated, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, let me put that out there. Motivation is something that does not come from the sky. Okay? Let me also put this out there. You are not going to be motivated every day. That is not
Mhm.
a reality. Okay? If you are struggling with motivation, first realize that motivation is within you. There is nobody on the outside that is going to motivate you to do what you need to do. Another thing is consider working towards your future self. So if you
Mm,
working towards, and I'm talking about working out and your health, if
right.
doing that right now isn't helping you to move forward, start thinking
Mm,
about the future you. What about working
mm.
out or working on your health now for the 90-year-old you? Because the work that you put in now is what's
Yes.
really going to reflect years later. So if you're having a hard time with motivation, try to change up what your mindset is of motivation, because that it's not gonna come. A lot of people are like, I'm not motivated, I'm waiting to be motivated. That, what are you looking for? Because it's not gonna show up on a TV screen. It's
Mhm.
not going to knock on your door. It's not coming. That motivation is within you. So a lot of times when I don't feel motivated, I think about the 90-year-old me. I think about trying to build that strength and that balance so that I can run or move with my son. That's what I'm looking at. So you have to try different things to keep you
Oh
going.
oh my goodness. Ugh, Juanita, you're just dropping some nuggets today. You hear me? Listen, one of my new questions that I ask myself is, how is this helping me to grow? So whenever
Mm,
I feel stuck, that is the question that I'm asking myself. So how is this helping me to grow for the future? And then I'm going to take it back to, I remember in regards to motivation. I remember what you said last year. Nobody's going to jump in your body and do it for you. No one's going to do it
true,
for you. So we have
true.
to find these ways to stay self-motivated and if it's the small steps that we have to take those small steps. If it's the affirming who we are and how beautiful and smart and intelligent we are, affirm that, guys. But it is a daily practice and something that we have to consistently work on. And again, understanding that it's the internal work that we have to do because we owe it to ourselves, right, Juanita? We owe it to ourselves to stay committed and to stay on this journey of personal growth for this year, 2026 and beyond. So, Miss Juanita, I want to say thank you so much. You definitely inspire me every time you come on Real Talk for Real Life. Please, please, please let the audience know how they can find you. And don't forget to tell them about the Moving with Purpose WhatsApp group that you've started. I want to say congratulations to you because your dedication, your motivation, your consistency, I'm sure you had an
I
anniversary.
think.
And so I want to say happy anniversary and just let the audience know a little bit more about that.
Oh my goodness, yes. And thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure. I absolutely love talking about this stuff and feel like I can talk about this stuff for hours. I feel like there's so many other things that I really could touch base on and dig deep, but we'll save that for another time. You guys,
Well, is that an acceptance to this invitation that I'm about to give you?
it is,
All
sure.
right, thank you. So we'll save it for the next episode.
Gosh, yes, there's so much to unpack. You can find me at Juanita Lankford. I am on Instagram and Facebook. Those are my two main social media platforms. You're more than welcome to reach out to me on Instagram. It's Juanita, Juanita Lankford, Lankford. You'll see my picture there. Go ahead and add me, message me, and then on Facebook, it's Juanita Mayers Langford. So
Okay.
go ahead, you will see the same picture. You'll know it's me. Message me, reach out to me. I'm more than welcome to help share resources, provide support, not only about me. I really get encouraged, and I mean, people don't even realize it, but you guys, when I see you guys showing up, it motivates me. Seeing somebody else work out or working on their own goals and actually reaching them, pushing through the hard times, that's really what keeps me going. So feel free to reach out. I do host free walking, have a free walking
Mhm.
walking club, you guys, is something that God told me to open up. Did it for all of 2025. So once a month, I do dedicate some time. If you're in the Broward County area, come out, check out my posts. I'm always posting the days, the times, as well as the locations. For the locations, just reach out to me so that I can send you where we're at because each month might change. And that goes to also piggyback on switching it up, right? So I like to go to different parks around Broward County. And really, it's just about getting up, stepping away from the phone, getting some fresh air, being around nature, chit-chatting. It has been such a great experience. So that's for my local folks. And if you are not local, I do have an accountability group via WhatsApp. So that's the one that Sherri Ann has been speaking about. It is also free. Money is not an issue with any of this stuff. So don't even let that be a setback, right?
Right.
These are free get out, get connected opportunities that's open for anyone. So feel free to reach out. I am in my inboxes. You can comment below in this video, reach out, connect, and I'll be more than happy to plug you in and get you some resources.
I love it. And that's what
Yeah.
it's all about. It's about those resources and creating those communities that women can feel that they can come to and just be a part and be around other empowering women. So thank you for what you've done and what you continue to do. And I wish you much success for this year of 2026 and beyond, moving with purpose, guys. So, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to remind you of this: growth starts in the mind, guys. Whether you're working on your motivation, your personal growth, uh, you got to understand that it just starts with the small steps, because those small steps add up, and that is how we grow, ladies. And for the gentlemen watching today, you don't have to be perfect. Remember that. You just have to be intentional. Again, one habit, one step, one decision at a time. I want you to ask yourself this: what's one thing I can do this week to move with purpose? I want to say thank you for spending time with Miss Juanita Lankford and myself on Real Talk for Real Life. That is empowered by women of dynamic change, guys. We are committed to helping women grow in every season of their life. Until next time, keep leading with gratitude and building with purpose. And remember, you're already everything you need to be. I am your host, Sherri Ann. And as I tell you, every episode of Real Talk for Real Life, if it's God's will, you'll see me again next time on Real Talk for Real Life. Have a dynamic day. Bye now.